What's up, guys, and welcome back to Learn to Play. Today we're going to be talking about tournament training and ladder training and the differences that you have to take when you're getting ready for a tournament and when you're trying to get better. So let's state first what a tournament does to you, right? Let's say you have a tournament in 1 month. You have to be realistic with yourself and say, are you going to change that much from now to a month, right? A lot of people say, yes, I will, or a lot of people will say, yes, I won't. And you have to be realistic with yourself. For me personally, I think I will not change. Maybe 1 or 2% better. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but probably something like that, 1 or 2% better, if any. That's probably not going to be the best use of my time if I just ladder and do everything I'm trying to do as if I was just laddering up and trying to get better, right? However, how big of a difference would it be if you actually invest time to looking at your opponents and coming up with a set of builds, okay? And I'm talking about a lot of builds. You need to come up with like 5, 6 builds for every single one of your matchups, and you need to realize what you're countering, or it could just be a macro build. But you need a lot of versatility a lot of times in tournaments, because a lot of people, if you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, you're going to get punished. You're going to get abused. You're going to get hard countered. And the beautiful thing about StarCraft 2 is there's always a hard counter to every single build that exists. So that being said, tournament training, what me and actually QXC used to do was we had a timetable and we set down a week-to-week schedule on what we're training, how we're training it. So week 1, we will be compiling all the builds together, TVZ, TVP, TVT. In week number 2, we'd just be training them, making sure that we can do all of them correctly. Week number 3, we're researching all of our opponents and coming up with an overall game plan. So if I'm up against a player like Ruff, I'm going to be very scout-centric, I'm going to be very defensive, I'm going to be very just aware of what all-ins that he can do, and I'm also going to be looking at a ton of replays of my opponent. Those are all the things that you have to do, as opposed to someone like, let's say, Idra, who we know is going to do the same thing over and over and over and over again, right? Then we have to think, okay, whatever our abusive builds, how do we take advantage of someone that keeps doing the same thing over again? Well, then we start thinking, okay, let's get a really super fast third nexus. Let's get a super fast third command center. He's not going to expect that. Things like that, you don't have to even scout him a lot of the times because you've prepared, you've done the work. So when you're in game, you can actually have and take full advantage of your opponent. That's the thing with tournaments. Be realistic. Say exactly when your tournament is going to come up. Come up with a timetable for yourself that's reasonable, saying you want to stop ladder practicing completely, and then you want to just go into custom games, get a training partner, make sure that you can keep up with all of those different matchups. Know what your weaknesses are. And know that people are going to expose that, and try to simulate games where you don't have to play in that style. So for instance, if I'm really bad against, like, I don't know, Broodlord, Infestor, Corruptor, something like that, I'm going to make sure that I'm ending the game way before that, right? So I'm doing 14-minute pushes, I'm doing 17-minute pushes, stuff like that. I want to do builds that are super strong in certain areas so I don't have to deal with my weaknesses. And the difference between this and ladder, obviously, is ladder is we're just trying to get better all around. Better multitasking, better understanding of my race, better understanding of our opponent's race, not making as many mistakes, being able to scout better. All these different things, we're just trying to gain more information, and then when it comes to tournament time, we are going for it, and we are trying to get number 1, because that's all that matters in tournaments. Anyway, guys, I hope that helps, and I'll catch you guys again for the next Learn to Play episode. As always, do what you love what you do. I'll catch you next time.